Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? You have heard the term desperate times, desperate measures, desperate people, right? All right. Well, right now, the Philadelphia Police Department is currently searching for 5 men that are suspected of stealing boxes of frozen beef from a refrigerated truck on November 15th in South Philadelphia. Yeah. Now, this heist took place at about 12:30 in the morning on the 700 block of Pattison Avenue in South Philly East. The targeted tractor trailer was parked overnight at a supply warehouse lot for Jetro, and that's Jetro, which is a restaurant supply store. And the driver was in the cab at the time that these 5 guys came up and decided to do a meat heist. When the driver felt his truck shake around, he went out of the cab to investigate what was going on. So then the driver then saw 3 individuals at the rear of the trailer hauling boxes of frozen beef out to 2 more thieves sitting in a nearby parked car. And the driver told police that one of the suspects said to him, "We're only going to take a little." Stop right there. Okay? Because, I understand, the global food crisis and famine and hunger and starvation and all of that. And I know that our country is suffering from that right now, okay? In more ways than you can possibly imagine. But to sit there and say, "We're only going to take a little bit." No, there's nothing to take. It doesn't belong to you, Funny story. Off track, but not really, okay? You guys know that my son works for FedEx, and he parks his FedEx truck here on the property at our house. So last night, me and my son and my daughter-in-law were sitting at the dining room table. And you can see right out to the front lawn from our dining room table because of where the window is, okay? And my son, we were just sitting there and we were just talking about how right now in the Tampa Bay area, but also countrywide, we are at the height, I guess you will say that, of thefts, especially when it comes to retail, because of the holidays coming up and whatever, but also because, Christmas is coming up. People can't afford to buy Christmas gifts. People can't even afford to put food on their table. Hence meat heist, right? And my son has his truck parked out on the front lawn. Now, just for some insight, he has no packages inside his FedEx truck when he brings it home. So if you're ever driving down your residential area and you'll say, "Why is there a FedEx truck or a UPS truck parked at that house?" Just know that there are absolutely no packages in the back of that truck. They are at the warehouse. The UPS drivers and the FedEx drivers are allowed to drive their trucks home, okay? So we're sitting there and we're talking about, it's getting to be that time. People are going to start, robbing and thieving and things like that. And Andrew was saying that he was, a little on the, this side because of the FedEx truck being in the driveway. And I said, "Son," "I don't think anybody is stupid enough to do something like that, right?" So then I notice, because I look out the front window, a white Cadillac driving by real slow. And then about 30 seconds later, that white Cadillac drove by again real slow. And then it came back again real slow. And then it came back again real slow. And I said, "Son," "there's a white Cadillac." Okay. I said, "It's driving past the house 4 times really, really slow." And then we noticed that it pulled into our neighbor's driveway. So my son said, "That's it. If they're going to try and you know, because this was like at 10 o'clock at night. That's it. You know, if someone's going to try and break in, I'm going to catch them. I'm going to stop them before it even happens. So Andrew runs outside and he goes, this is so my son, Marine Corps, huh? You know, he goes, what are you looking at? What are you driving by the house so slow for? Don't you, realize that we can see you? And the guy rolls down his window and he goes, I'm looking for Autumn. And my son goes, how the hell do you know my mother? And he goes, well, my daughter Janessa is staying at Autumn's house. And Andrew goes, you're Janessa's father? Why didn't you call? So he comes, pulls into our driveway. And my son goes, I'm so sorry. He said, please understand. He said, with the FedEx truck parked in the driveway, and because of the holiday season, thefts are high. And he said, and I have to protect this truck while it's on my property. And the dad's like, it's okay, I get it, I understand. So we call Janessa, she's my niece's best friend. And she walks outside, she's like, Dad, what are you doing? And he goes, I tried to text your cell phone and call your cell phone and you didn't answer. And I said, that's because we live in what's called a dead area. And he goes, what the hell does that mean? I said, nobody's cell phones work in this area. I said, so I gave him the house phone number. But this is just to show you that regardless if you live in the suburbs or if your truck is parked in the middle of Philadelphia, you always have to be on high alert. Okay, so then back to this story, the thief then allegedly motioned towards his hip like, I got it, implying that he possibly had more thieves and firearms and whatnot. And the driver noted that the 5 suspects, they fled the scene in a silver Ford Explorer SUV. So at least 15 boxes of beef were stolen with an estimated value of about $7,600. Some more slabs of meat spilled out of the truck were left behind after the suspects were delivered or were discovered by the truck driver, and they escaped in a rush. So truck drivers now all over the country, including my son, FedEx, UPS, whatever, they are, like, especially in larger cities like where we're at. I mean, we may live in a suburb of Tampa, but we're still considered Tampa, okay? They are dealing with an increase of cargo thefts. So this is why, like FedEx and UPS, they don't have boxes or, packages on their trucks when the truck is at home. You'll never find a full truck at someone's house. When they work for these companies, you'll never find it. So the increased danger to truck drivers has resulted in them arming themselves with tools and, just to keep their high-priced cargo very safe, such as heavy-duty locks. Now, I do know that, what was it, right before Thanksgiving, Andrew, because he was driving around delivering packages, and someone tried to cut him off, like he was driving. They tried to cut him off and park diagonally in front of his truck so he couldn't go anywhere. Because if you've ever tried to drive a FedEx truck or a UPS truck, they're extremely hard to maneuver. And he tried to cut him off and jump out and try and take over the truck. And Andrew, because he took defensive driving technique classes in the Marine Corps, he was able to get this truck around that car and take off and go back to the hub. So these are things that these truck drivers are constantly dealing with, and it's getting even worse because of the holidays. You know what I mean? So there's $250,000 worth of meats in the back of these meat delivery trucks, and that's about $750,000 by the time they sell it. So that's a lot of money, and especially when you're dealing with FedEx and UPS, because A lot of times they're delivering appliances and furniture and stuff like that to people's homes too. So these are high ticket items, okay? So, but in Philly, at least 196 cargo thefts have been recorded by the Philly police since the beginning of the year. Last year, there were 242 cargo thefts that were recorded, and the heist on the frozen beef boxes in South Philly comes just a few weeks after 184 cases of crab clusters that was worth approximately $73,000 were stolen from a truck in North Philly. So the increase in cargo thefts in the past few months, it's a trend. It's a trend that is not expected to stop anytime soon. And the latest data has actually showed that a 59% increase in recorded theft events in the third quarter of 2023 were compared with last year. And it's higher this year than it was last year. And it's going to keep getting higher and higher because as the economy becomes worse and worse, people are not making enough to even survive. You know, I mean, things like this are going to keep occurring, but at a faster pace, in my opinion. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here, okay? I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less. Ciao.